I'd like to introduce the fabulous Nicola Perren. Welcome, Nicola.
Thank you very much, Dawn. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all okay. Right, I am going to get everybody going straight away with some drawing, okay? Before we kind of go into this bit, I wanted to kind of talk through something. It's not so much a presentation. I just wanted to show people things. But before we do that, I'm actually going to get everybody to do an exercise while I'm talking. Okay, so hopefully if my voice is just too dreary and too unexciting, then you've got something else to do anyway. So what I want you to do is take just any old piece of paper. So I've just got some photocopy paper here. Okay, so I've got a 3, but it can be A4, it can be a scrap of paper, it really doesn't matter. And I want you to take 2 things to draw with. Okay, they could both be the same thing, so it could be 2 biros, but I want you to be, here, holding media in both hands. And I just basically want you to just make dashes like so, okay, until I tell you to do something different with both hands at the same time. While you're, this is like patting your head and doing your tummy at the same time, Dawn. We were just practicing that while you're listening to me talking. Does that make sense? Yes, a resounding yes. And in a minute, I'm going to tell you to change what marks you're making, okay? So what I'm going to do, I can't do that while I'm talking. What I just want to do is share something and show you something. So what I'm teaching and doing in this workshop today relates to a new course that I'm running, which is being launched. Well, it's already launched actually online, but there'll be some live classes as well starting. So let me share my screen. Share screen. There. There's buttons everywhere, aren't there? Okay, so this is the Academy. So I don't know if any of you have been or used Academy before. This is for the new course, which is all about exploring kind of drawing and image making. And just down any kind of like, if you're used to any kind of VLE kind of setup, then we've got the introductory area here. So we've got just information on tools that we'll be using, how I might be using things, color stories, and everything just has a little video, a little handout with it. So everything's just really, really clear, I think, on there. And then if we go into the first unit, which again has also already been launched, we can again see the materials we're going to be using in the first session. There's a little presentation, which is just a couple of minutes. And then we've got all of the videos to talk you through basically all of the classes that you're going to do. And it's about kind of like 3-4 hours worth of classes there. But what I really like about it is you can pick and choose the bits you do want to do, don't do bits. You can do it in your own time. And that's all the online content, but we're actually going to be running each of these units as a live session each week starting on the 1st of May. So it's a Wednesday evening from
Sorry about that, everybody. It looks like we've lost her.
I'm back.
She's back. She's back.
Oh,
Where's she gone? Where's she gone? There she is. There she is. Don't worry. There you are.
I'm here. Oh my word. So you can join in with the live sessions. You can just do the online. can join in with the live sessions, you can just do online, or you can do a mixture of the two. So, oh, I forgot to tell everybody to change the different marks. Have you all got full pages of the same mark? Sorry. I was going to tell you to change directions, switch to crosses and all sorts of things. So let me, now where's my screen gone with my hands in? Can you see it?
Yeah, it's towards the bottom. It's not, it's not there. There's no video.
That gone as well. I think the web internet must have gone out. Just give me 1 minute. So change your marks to dashes in a different direction. How's that? Right, now this took me a while. Am I back on? Honestly. Am I back?
You are back.
Yeah. That's it.
Find you again so that we can.
Here I am.
There you
And
are.
now I'm upside down.
I'm just going to spotlight you so everybody can see.
you.
Right, we're back.
Oh, everything's back on. Has everybody switched to doing crosses now? Oh.
No, but we will do now that you've said.
Good.
Good. Left hand, that's the only thing.
I know, it's funny, isn't it? All these different left-handed, right-handed. Right. So, hopefully, you've all got a piece of paper already. We've already got a drawing. Hey, this looks something like some of these I prepared earlier. Okay. So, now I've done that, what I just wanted to do is just let people know what you need for today. Okay. Sounds a bit backwards, doesn't it? But I just wanted to get people going. I know when people come to drawing classes or any of my classes, they're just usually itching to get on with stuff. So I quite like to set people things to do while I'm talking. Okay. So what is useful to have today, okay, is some paper and some biros and some pencils. That's it at its most basic level. Okay. However, I have like a little tray of goodies. So any media that you've got around is really nice. So I've got Posca pens. I've got these lovely woody pens, aquarels, all sorts of things there. I've got a glue stick and some scissors. Okay. But as I said, we can do it with whatever we have to hand. It doesn't have to be complicated, okay? But what I'd like to do is I want us to explore thinking about how we can make different marks on paper based on an idea that I'm going to throw out there. And then we're going to use these different kind of ways of making marks to explore, an idea that is in somebody else's artwork. So I've got some different images we're going to break down into descriptors, and then we're going to draw those descriptors essentially. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to break this down now. We'll go through it all. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, you can use a new sheet of paper. I would recommend using a new sheet of paper actually for this. What we're going to do is pick a medium to draw with, and I would like you, okay, to draw, make marks that you think kind of reflect this particular word, which is glide. So if glide was a visual thing, what might that look like? I'm going to do something, and honestly, I haven't actually thought about this before, so I don't know either what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to start to draw and think about what a mark, if it was a glide, or just describe that idea or how the word glide sounds. Glide, glide, glide. Just for about a minute, we're just going to explore different marks, perhaps even different mediums. Okay, that play around with your particular mark. So I found this mark, glide, glide. So I'm reflecting the sound of the word actually. And I'm trying it out in different media. Your mark might look quite different to mine. Okay, let me get my timer going. Always got the timer out in my classes. I like to do lots of timed drawings. If there's any questions, please do interrupt me. I am more than happy to be interrupted. Glide. Okay, so we've done a minute on the word glide. Wait a minute, set my timer. Okay, so I'm going to change the word now to, you might already be feeling this about this little workshop, irritation. So if irritation was a word, what might that be? Nikki, I saw how big you laughed then. You're not feeling it.
I felt glide. I can do the glide. Irritation is. I'm not very good at that one. It's a bit of a.
Yeah, exactly. So you might find, let me set this timer. Okay, you might find you find yourself holding your media in a different way. So irritation, I feel like I want to be holding my media like this, not just like I'm sat here with a nice HB pencil doing some lovely little observation. So I might think about how I'm holding my media. Maybe I'm switching hands because irritatingly, I can't get quite a perfect curve with it. Okay, so just keep playing, and we're just basically filling a page or multiple pages if you're jumping around between papers. Irritation, irritation. We're just basically making a whole range of different kind of papers, which we will integrate later. Oh my word, that was a fast minute, wasn't it, everybody? Okay, so my next word, oh, this might annoy people as well. The next word, and I don't know what this looks like, is clammy. Clammy. What does clammy look like? I think clammy, and I'm not picking colours based on these words, but I think I wouldn't use this clammy. Clammy. Well, when you're feeling clammy, you just want to kind of slow down, don't you? So that's not the right mark, I don't think. Maybe it's just a line. I reckon there's some psychometric tests we can do on all of this. Depending on how you interpret these words. Maybe it's lots of colours. I've got lots of media now coming into mine, my clammy. Yeah, I think that's starting to look like it. So how are we doing for time? Got 5 seconds left, everybody. And what is the actual time? Okay. We're going to do one more word. Oh, this one's nice. Light. So if light, oh, I know, I've got pastels. If light was a mark, it's too strong, that colour. Can anybody tell I like orange? Sorry, I've gone quiet. I go quiet when I'm actually thinking about what I'm doing. Apologise. It's a bit like a radio presenter having a bit of a think, I guess, isn't it? Okay. So hopefully we've all got some marks already on our page. I'm already starting to get mucky. So we're going to move on to our next task. Okay, let me check. This is such a speedy workshop. So normally it'd be nice to spend a little bit more time thinking about these things, talking about what we've done or not. What I want us to do, yes, now is on a new piece of paper. Okay. Now, often in my classes, so I'm working on white paper now. If you've done any of my classes previously, you will probably be aware I very rarely actually work on white paper. I nearly always work on coloured papers, whether I've bought those or I've painted out the pages first. A lot of people with drawing in particular have quite a fear of drawing, and often that comes from that white page. So just like in a sketchbook, I often get people to start on page 10 of the sketchbook, not on the first page, and people suddenly do it. It's crazy. It's crazy. So we're working on white today. Why not? What I want us to do is to draw. You can be really precise about this and get your ruler out, or you can just draw roughly what you think is a 10 centimetre square ish. If it's 12 centimetres, I'm not marking it, it doesn't matter. If it's 3 centimetres, that's your prerogative, you can choose that. Okay, so basically I've just drawn out 4 squares. Okay, I'll just make sure everybody's caught up. I can't see, this is the downside of being online, I can't see if everybody's with me. Okay, but what we're going to do is I've got 3 funky little books here. Okay, I've got one which is in German, so I can't actually tell you what it is because, well, it's all in German, but it's by Margaret Hansman. Okay, so I'll bring that up to the camera so you can see that. Okay, it's just a cool book that I found in a market in Germany. And then I've got this is, it's kind of like a comic stroke zine that I bought in a cool magazine shop in London. And again, if you know me, you know I like a lot of colour. And I just thought this was just a really lovely book. Oh, that's a nice one, isn't it? Look at that. Isn't that amazing, those 2 things together? Who would have thought it? I love it. Anyway, got that book, and that's by, oh, I should have written this down first, shouldn't I? I'll get the information for you. It's in bubble writing. I can't read the bubble writing. And then I've got The Pressed Plant, okay, by Andrea Denoto and David Winter. And this is just, I really love this as just like a reference book for plants and plant life, just things that are being pressed. Okay, so I think we'll start off with the pressed plant one. And what we're going to do is, we've just been drawing from descriptive words that I've given you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you, I've picked out an image, okay? I'll bring it up to the camera a bit. I want you to write down on your sheet 3 words that you think describe, or just 3 words that come to your mind as soon as you look at this page, okay? So I'll bring it up to the camera a little bit more. We're not going to spend too long on this. We're not going to be overthinking it. But for me, I've got, what are those peanuts that you have to, monkey nuts that you have to crack open? The shapes of these leaves kind of remind me of that. I think monkey nuts, that's funny, dry and cracked for me. Okay, for me, the cracked is coming from these little seed heads that have burst open. So what have I just said? Monkey nuts, dry and cracked. Okay, so hopefully you've all had a kind of like good thing. You've all got at least 2 words, if not 3 words, that you feel kind of reflect that image. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes, and in one of these squares you are going to draw something based on your 3 words. So it's really is kind of coming from our imagination, but it's based in something that we've seen and we've observed. Okay, so does that make sense to everybody? Helicopters, nice, like it, Nikki. Good. Okay, so got my timer there, so you can all see where we're up to. So we've got 2 minutes to do a drawing that is inspired by your 3 words. Okay, let's do this. Monkey nuts. I don't want to be too literal. I think I'm going to go with cracked first. So one of the things that I think I have to remind myself to do when I'm drawing, especially when I draw quite regularly, well, very regularly, actually, is sometimes I stop thinking and I just do things without thinking about how I can use my media in different ways. So I don't know if you're looking at the camera at the moment, but when I'm thinking about this idea of cracked, rather than me just drawing it how I think it might be, I'm actually holding my pencil in a different way. So I'm getting some different kind of controlled lines or uncontrolled lines. I'm a really big fan of the unexpected. Tales of the unexpected. So we're halfway through. Cracked, dry, pastels, I think. And then monkey nuts. Yes. So hopefully with having this timer, we've got 30 seconds left, everybody. It's not making people overthink things, which often can happen in drawing. And so my drawing thinking is nearly always inspired is the context of textiles. So even when I'm drawing, it's always thinking about textiles. And I think sometimes if you just overthink the drawing side of it, then you can kind of lose a bit of the excitement and the essence. Is going towards textiles anyway. Things are going to translate in different ways. So I don't want to overdo the drawing bit. So first one, looks like on the camera I've done some bow ties, but they were my monkey nuts. Okay, so let's go with another. So this time, okay, this is the image. So this is from I don't know if anybody on here is German, but it says Die Bibliophilen, which I'm assuming is book of Taschenbücher. I don't know if that's the publisher, but it's this very cool book of images. This is the image we're looking at. Okay, yeah, it's on the camera. There we go. That's straight-ish. Okay, so have a think. What are the words that come to you? Oh, what are those? Lava lamp. But I might be being a bit over descriptive. I think I need to be a bit less. broken edges. And layers. Okay. It's a lovely print though, isn't it? I like how the two greens feel like they're the print that's meant to be, and then the this black final print that's gone it feels like it's from a completely different image. That's cool. Okay, so our next drawing, 2 minutes again to explore those three new words. So you might be picking, if you've got a selection of media available to you, it might be that you're picking media relating to your words. So I'm going to go with just creating different kinds of marks here. Maybe doing some colour blocking here as well. So to create some, thinking about a bit of negative space going on here. This one there. And got the layers happening as well, which is nice. I like this one. There we go, everybody. Making up time. Okay. Interesting. So now our third one. Okay, how are we doing for time? Okay, is this one. Okay, just take that off. Okay, so I think we can all see this one. So again, 3 words. I've got smudge for sure. This one. Reveal. I'll show you why I've got that word. And then line. I'm trying to kind of like avoid the obvious kind of narrative that's going on in this image. I've got a reveal on there. I don't know if the camera is picking up. There's these really lovely subtle colours breaking through in the background here. And you've just got these really lovely kind of like colours revealing themselves in little areas, which is really nice. That's where I've got my reveal from. Okay. So hopefully you're all keeping up, or you might still be on the last one. That's fine. Not a problem. I'm going to start the timer. And I'm going to do some smudges. But instead of just doing them straight on the page, I'm going to get some media on my fingers. I think. It's not coming out too well. It's not warm enough to open. Has anybody else come across these amazing wax pencils? They're called Woody 3-in-1 by Stablio. Really, really nice. And what I really love about them, and I haven't got a water pot with me, is that you can activate them with water as well. So you can get some really lovely inky quality marks going on there. You need to get more smudging. I think we need to bring the orange in. That's on there. And line. I think quite often, and I've forgotten the name of the lady. Quite often we can observational drawing can kind of put a lot of people off. Whereas I think there are some really interesting ways in which we can do observation without necessarily doing it in the more traditional way. So I think there's some quite nice things. And there's a lady from 100 or so years ago who developed this idea of drawing from descriptions, and her name has gone from my head. There's maybe teachers here, they may know who I'm talking about. Mary. Anyway, so we've now all got 3 drawings. Okay, hopefully these will act as a little prompt for the next bit. Okay, what I want you to do now is take your initial drawing that you were doing, your marks on the pages while I was talking about what's going on Academy. Okay, I need to take that piece of paper. If you didn't do that, if you were too busy listening and making notes or whatever, or doing something else, then you can just work onto some different paper. But what we're going to do is we're just going to tear this in half. Okay, and we're now going to start to work into that. Okay, so I now have a new piece of paper, but instead, which one should I have? I think I want that one. Okay, but instead of working just on a blank piece of paper, we've already got something on our page. Okay, and what we're going to do now, let me just check my notes, is we're going to take 1 or 2 of our ideas, elements that we think are quite interesting here, and we're going to transpose them onto here. So I am going to, and I might draw over the whole page if you quite liked having yourself a square to work with. Okay, then you can draw a square, or you can just free form and play on this page based on what's going on here. Okay, so our 4th square, if you're wondering what we're going to do with that, okay, is I just want you to just have a little minute just to think about the ideas that you've got going on here. There might be another idea that you've got coming from the words here, okay, and just kind of plot out something in this square that you might take over onto this, and we're going to do a slightly more considered drawing. I say considered, we're literally going to be doing it in 2-3 minutes still, so it's not exactly a Picasso here, okay, but I'm going to, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, which are the bits that I think are interesting? How might I compose this on this area? So I'm just going to reset my timer to 1 minute, not 3 minutes, 1 minute, just to spend a little bit of time mapping out an idea. I actually quite like this one here, the 3rd one I did. I feel like I'd warmed up. I quite liked the elements that were happening here as well. So I think it was the overlayering of some circles that I'm quite into here. And then I've got my lines. I really like the direction that I've got going on here of the lines. And actually the smudge seems to be quite a big thing in mine. So I think I will have some kind of smear happening up here as well. I wonder as well if I've got one of these kind of cracked lines going through there as well. Okay. So I've got a quick idea that I want to play with here. And I'm going to transpose it onto here. Okay. So I'm going to spend 2 minutes. Now, actually, I'm going to change it to 3 minutes. However, I'm going to throw in a little curveball 2 minutes into it. Okay, so reset 2 minutes. Okay, so we're just going to have a little bit more of a think, but we're drawing it onto a marked page. So let's get this circle in here with some blocked out areas. Sometimes working to a more confined space can ignite a little bit more creativity if you're kind of quite nervous about going big. Not that going big here, but if you're kind of not feeling it, then perhaps working in a smaller area that you've selected might be helpful. Okay. Right, so I've got a minute. Oh no, 2 minutes left. I think I want to bring these lines in quite boldly. So I don't know about you, but while I'm doing this, I'm thinking about potential nice little monoprint ideas that I could be doing directly onto some cloth. I'm also thinking about some really nice potential embroidery ideas, some quite contemporary stitch, big stitch ideas. Sorry, I've got a squeaky pen. And then the other thing that I'm thinking of, which is about knit and about thinking about a you know, like a yarn that's got a bit of a knot in, and knitting up with that. So that's kind of reminding me of some of the things I've got going on here. Now, I said I'm going to throw in a little surprise. We've still got a minute to go, but what I want you to do now is taking your first sheet of paper, again, the other half of it. Okay, we're now going to use that to collage onto some elements that are going on in here. Okay, so I've got, so that could be done with tearing, it could be with scissors. Once you've cut it out or torn it off, it might be folded onto the page. Okay, let me reset my timer for 1 minute. Okay, I'd like to now I might use it to blank out, almost like an eraser. Blank out and create another space there. I might want to bring, because I've got the blue crosses here, I could change it for the orange crosses. Or does it sit there? I don't know. Don't want to think about it for too long. Oh, that's quite nice. So I'm just going to glue that down. Oh, it's on earlier. Okay. So I'm just going to glue that down. Okay, so I've got an idea starting to develop. Now we've worked quite quickly on this. Okay, how are we doing for time? And I know Nikki had a few things to say. So we're going to finish off with just another couple of minutes. You're right. We'll just finish off with a couple of minutes. More drawing into this one here. I've just seen a question come. I'll come back to that in a second. I'll set people off with this task. So what I want you to do now is we've been working kind of quite quickly, quite freely, or I'm assuming we all are. I don't know. I have been. Actually, if you haven't, if you feel like you've been working in quite a tight manner so far, then I want you to do the opposite. I want you to go looser. Basically, what we want to do is bring in something that's a bit of a contrast to this. So personally, I think it would be really nice for me to make some marks which are just really carefully considered. There might not be lots of them because we haven't got lots of time to do it, but just something that just tips the balance from being something that just looks like it's just been thrown together, which we know it has been, to something that feels like, oh, actually, that was done on purpose. So often when people kind of play around with quite abstract and playful ideas, it doesn't quite work until you put something really considered on there. So for example, I think it might be quite nice just to do a whole series of quite formal, but these are really small little dots on the page here. So I'm just slowing down. Don't even know if you can see that coming up on the screen there. So I'm just starting to just think about what I've got here and what I can do a little bit more slowly, just to add a little bit more to a bit more of a dynamic to the drawing is what I'm trying to say, I think. Okay, and I'm going to avoid drawing onto those yellows. I'm going to go around them. So I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes. And then I'm going to look to see what that question was. Okay, so start. 2 minutes, I said, didn't I? Let's do something a little bit more detailed. Let me just see. We'll go to the questions. Oh, look at all these things that people have been thinking about. Why didn't I see all of this earlier on? Oh, now I want to know what they're all to do with which images. Well, I could play a game later, couldn't I? See if I can work that out. HPS at our college, hold pressure speed. Nice. Oh, all the way to year 13. Good on ya. Yeah, Woody's by Stablio, I think was the question. Yes, if that's what you were asking about. So let me get a dark one so you can see that on the camera. So it's these, and they're so amazing. They don't come in a lot of colors, but they blend really well when you're drawing with them. And as I said, you can add water to it as well. What a really nice way of working is actually wetting your page and then drawing with them. Ooh, they're really, really delicious then. They're lush. But I think somebody's written in there what they're called. Yeah, cool. You can get them. Ah, so the works do something similar. Oh, I didn't know that. We're learning something. So let me carry on drawing. I've been talking now. If anybody's got any other questions or thoughts, please do pop them in the chat or ask. Stop. Now I'm just going to do a cheeky bit now, a bit longer, because I've put my dots in there. I actually think they're unbalanced at the moment, so I think I'm going to add, personally, some of the same dots, but on top of my orange line down here. I think that kind of creates a little bit more. It doesn't feel like it's just this odd thing. up there. It's just kind of responding and reacting to whatever it is you've got on the page without worrying about kind of coming up with something absolutely marvelous, which of course you all have done anyway. So I just, if you can see that, it's not that this is a brilliant drawing, but I've just added in a little bit more detail in those dots that I've got up here. I put them on top of my orange line as well. I think if I was going to spend a bit more time on this, I think some more of this lilac, purple colour would come down here, but not in the same intensity. I think I'd probably just... See, I'm cheating, aren't I? I'm taking more than the 2 minutes. Just bring, yeah, that's nicer. That's better. Just kind of like eking that purple out a little bit into the page. And that's us done. Just with just doing some, just kind of like the idea is this is just one small part in the first unit of the new class that I've got launched, which is where we're kind of like analysing and just trying to find other ways of observing and being really playful with our mark making. So that's me done. Feel free to carry on, but if you have any questions or thoughts, please do let me know. And I'd love to see you hold your drawings up. Yay, look at these. Ooh la la. Oh, we've got blue paper as well. Nice. Oh, look at all of these. They look great.
Some
That one,
great
I don't-
ones.
Aren't they amazing? Look at these. Oh, there's lots of energy. Look at, you can't see what I'm pointing at. I like that. There's a shiny-ish one there. Oh, look at that pink and that yellow. Is that, oh, that's lovely collage. Oh, the blues, lovely. Really nice. Wait, whoa, somebody done a masterpiece up there. Who's that? They've done a massive wall-sized canvas. Fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody, for sharing those. They look great. So there's lots of energy going on there. And from the similar words and the same images, we've all come up with quite different looking ideas and visuals. So that's good. I think that's healthy. Okay. So
have we done? We lost her again.
I'm here.
No,
Sorry,
she's there.
I'm concentrating. I'm reading. I can't read and talk. Right.
Reading the
Instagram. So
it's just, yeah, yours is, what's yours, Nicola?
at Perren Studios. So that's Perren Studios. I should have it written down, shouldn't I?
I'll write it in the chat. Can you put a link in the chat?
I don't know if I can put it as a link, but I've put Perren Studios. Let me see if I can put a link. How do I do that?
I put a link for the next course.
Oh, thank you.
It'd be great. It'd be great if some of you could actually do the course. It's such a brilliant course. So just
Thank you.
quick catch up then on what's happening next. Angela Walker's Tea and Chat is next, which is on the 14th of May. Nikki is going to be in Bath next week. On the 4th.
Chichester on the 18th, yeah.
Chichester on the 18th.
Oh, nice in Chichester.
And then we're heading
Bath,
up north.
Yeah, Bath is fabric manipulations, guys. Chichester is surfaces. Then we're up to Sandbach for fabric manipulation. Then we're in Stroud for the heat press course. We've got a course.
You picked really awful places to do all of these workshops, Nikki. They all sound terrible.
Well, we have got a fab
lovely. So we are going to Peterborough.
We're going to Peterborough too on the 29th. We've also got an incredible different workshop in Genome on the 26th of June. It is midweek, guys, so it's not on a Saturday, but it's doing lots of techniques that done in our other courses. So that would be cool if any of you are in Stockport or near Stockport. So have a look on the website. Don't forget to go and look on the Instagram for your free overlocker. And we really want those competition entries. You can do whole school class if you want to, a whole class. Just take lots of photos of the whole class. They all get a certificate, which is amazing. That's the most important thing for the students.
Nicola, somebody's asking if you do workshops for schools.
I do, yes. So just it depends where you are, but absolutely. I do things in secondary or kind of like GCSE, A-level, foundation. I do all kinds of things, as well as actually retreats, all kinds of things. So yay.
Oh, I want to come on one of your retreats. Wow. I've
got a cracking one coming up it's actually in Stroud. Early next year. It hasn't been announced yet.
Shame we're not at the
how many
same
people
time.
have I just told? Oops. So it's a really nice country house it's in.
Oh, that sounds a dream.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Lovely.
I've got a few more possibles as well. So
fabulous. Thank you.
I've got all these drawings coming up. Thank you for sharing, everybody.
Teresa, you can just enter the competition with just images. If they get shortlisted, then we will come back to you.
Yeah, it's an easy way for you all to do it. If you want to do a whole class and you've got a class this week, just go around, take the photographs, send them to us with their name, and then if they get selected, we'll then come back to you and ask you to fill the form out, because we do know that it's a difficult time of the year at the moment. Yeah, you've all got the exam either coming up or the exam portfolio. So, but it is a great way for your students to be enthused, and the prizes are great. So yeah, get them in, folks.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.